Check this bit out, Pauline. Just check this bit out. It's quite amusing. I wonder if the sound will be loud enough.
Submarines whose importance in our defence capability as an island continent will grow over time. Importantly, the submarines will be an Australian sovereign capability commanded by the Royal Australian Army and sustained by Australian workers in Australian shipyards.
Did you catch that bit, Pauline? Let me just go backwards a bit here.
Funded by the Royal Australian Army and sustained by Australian workers in Australia.
Maybe I didn't go back far enough. Did you catch that again? Did you catch it?
Ability commanded by the Royal Australian Army.
That's kind of amusing, Pauline. But let's go back even further there to his beginning.
In our defence capability as an island continent will grow over time. Importantly, the submarines will be an Australian sovereign capability commanded by the Royal Australian Army and sustained by Australian workers in Australian shipyards.
An Australian sovereign capability there, Pauline. And he's put, what, are they land forces, are they, on the ships? It's kind of amusing, Pauline, that this sovereign capability has put your land forces not on the ocean, in it, in submarines. Now, I can think about something else called submarines. Weren't they called Collins-class submarines? And weren't they built in South Australia? And isn't this just a total repeat of the failure that was? So what capability is Albo talking about? Now, I support subs. I totally support subs, Pauline. Totally support subs. Little ones that can come up on the continental shelf, Pauline. Little ones that can come up on the continental shelf. Not 3 or 4 big ones, maybe 70 or 80 little ones. And what the hell's the Royal Australian Army doing out on the seas, Pauline, in a sovereign capacity? What sovereignty would that be, Albo? What stone would you be linked to there, Albo? The sovereignty of the Stone of Destiny. Is that the one, Albo? So, Pauline, he's making a mockery of everything, and I watched a little cartoon, I think it's about 2 months old now, of Albo having a little corroboree in his office and saying, tick the box. I thought that was brilliant, totally brilliant. And the portrayal of Albo with all the white paint on, the ochre, totally brilliant, total mockery, absolutely brilliant. Don't know what to say. Albo, you got a house to clean up, mate. Total house to clean up. There are war criminals amongst your house, and you could be one of them for all we know. But we do know that some of them are there. We can name them, Albo, to the point where put them on a court record if we have to. So we're asking the AFP to clean up house. So, you know, there are criminal laws that have been broken here, Albo. Pauline, I think he knows this. I totally think he knows this. Like, we discussed the law of apartheid, and I think he's set this country on a motion of racial discrimination, Pauline, from some sort of manipulated office of government, which would be apartheid. I talked about growing up in apartheid, Pauline. It's not very fun. It's totally not very fun when you're segregated and you can't talk to the other race because they're a race. That's kind of really bad stuff that you're letting this man do. And we're watching him be under someone else's control as he's talking before his own party. Right, so there's some sort of conspiracy going on inside this government, Pauline, some sort of conspiracy going on inside this government. And I think just by the way this man's squirming and using his words, I think he got caught out, Pauline. I think he knows he got caught out, Pauline. So I think it's time to call the AFP. I think apartheid is a pretty serious international criminal offence, Pauline. It's in the criminal code, for Christ's sake. These are code that you're obligated to follow, Albo. And you failed to do it. You just got caught out failing to do it. So, Governor-General, you're obligated to the code. It's time to step up, mate. It's time to bring the AFP in. It's time to move on all these people. It's time to clean up house. You're the ones that wanted to administer here. You're the ones that wanted to play by rules that disagree with the Constitution, and those rules caught up with you. So it's time to clean up house, Pauline. It really is. We're looking at all these war crimes going on, and no one's cleaning up Father's house, Pauline. You're just going to let Father's house go to the wayside and rot, Pauline. Is that what you're going to let Albo do, destroy it? You know, with these fake housing deals and these fake electricity deals while he destroys the actual things that matter. What happens when they can't be recovered? And he's not going to come to the party with his promises. Like, he's never come to the party with promises, Pauline. Albo's never come to the party with promises. Albo's been one of the worst prime ministers that we've had in the history of this entire country, Pauline. I mean, Scott Morrison and the robo-debts was pretty bad in itself. Are we going to hold these people to account or not, Pauline? Hold them to account, you said. Your corporation, One Nation, was going to hold these corporations to account, Pauline. How are you going to do that without your gods, without your faith? Without the naked ownership linked to this constitution that lines up a stone and a line of authority in international law, where you've played this game of lies for a very long time, manipulated the world. I know it's a war game, Pauline, but there are rules on the table that you just failed to follow, failed to abide by, all of you. So, Pauline, you know, it's time to do something about it. I'm watching Paul Albo mock the army here as seamen. You know, the army are being mocked as seamen. That's not very nice, Pauline. Not very nice to be mocked as seamen. What are we going to do about it, Pauline? The only answer is to involve the AFP.